When you have parents who have abusive sides and good sides, that's basically a ripple effect for the types of people you will also attract in your life. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. This commenter says it's very difficult when the abusers are your parents. The rest of your life, you're attracted to people with a good side who actively hate and try to kill you. And this is true. And the reason why, and again, there may be exceptions, I'll put that out there, but the reason why this is true for a lot of people, um, when you grow up with your parents are the norm for you. You may logically know that there's something wrong with them. You may logically know that they hurt you and abuse you, and you are afraid of them or you don't like them, and you wish you can get away from them. But that your brain is still wiring. Growing up with them, that is wiring you for something that is a common occurrence for you, which you have internalized that's normal versions of love. That's a normal way that people interact with each other. There's that that dysfunction becomes your comfort, your norm. And so what tends to happen is you tend up attracting people that are very much like your parents. In particular, this is true if your parents are still in your life. If your parents are still in your life, they're still actively abusing you, betraying you, harming you. Again, it's going to be very difficult for your brain to filter out and start relationships with people that are the opposite of that. And even if you do, you also may end up becoming the toxic person or having issues with trust or issues with challenges and betrayals and things like that because you're waiting for the ball to drop. You're waiting for something to come out of the corner and to harm you. And so that is something that I've worked with my patients over the years and learning how to undo that and learning, teaching their brain how to filter more appropriately for relationships that are healthy and safe as opposed to, just going with what you're used to, sticking by with what you're used to. And that's very difficult. A lot of people struggle with that. Um, a lot of people struggle with feeling like a bad person, for leaving their parents and anybody else that's like them in the dust and saying no more. They struggle with that because they've been conditioned, not just by their parents, but everybody else in their community to say, you know what, you need to stand there and take that abuse and stop being selfish. Those are your parents. They're going to make mistakes, and you need to stand there and withstand that. And therefore, that sets up a chain reaction when the reality is your parents want you to be complacent, they want you to be subordinate. And they don't really care how your life is being affected. They don't care if you get into a relationship with another abuser. They may say they care, but really, they set up the blueprint for you to be drawn to an abuser. They set up the blueprint for codependency because they're codependent with you and you're codependent with them. And, anytime they need you, they draw you back in to take more of it. So at the end of the day, if they really cared about your livelihood, they would want you to do better and be better than them, have a better, happier, more fulfilling life than they have, not endure the same struggles or challenges, and never, ever, ever want anyone in your life who's going to mistreat you. So, you have to undo that wiring and redo some hard wiring in your brain and neural connections for that. And so, yeah, this is very true. Thanks so much for stating that. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow if you found this helpful. Thanks so much. Can't wait to hear what you guys think.